Hello seekers of magic, and welcome back to my Fairy Queendom. Join me as I'm preparing for Samhain. I'm going to share with you how I prepare and celebrate this beautiful time of the year, as well as simple DIY and ritual ideas that you can do for yourself. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, and I hope you enjoy the video. The days are getting shorter, and nature and its inhabitants, seen and unseen, begin to withdraw more and more into their cozy homes. The trees throw off their colorful clothes. Nature says goodbye to autumn and greets the upcoming winter. For the Celts, the new year began at a time when all the life-giving power retreated back into earth, hiding there throughout the colder, darker months of the year. And I feel like that the Celts understood that this withdrawal of Mother Earth did not mean the end of life, but that the process of new life continued, hidden from our eyes, deep inside the earth, where seeds prepared for their growing in spring. The animals that are now starting to withdraw into their homes in trees or underneath the safe roots of their beloved tree friends take a break from their busy lives, ready to greet nature and the sun once again in spring. Samhain is a Celtic festival that marks the end of the harvest season, leading us into the darker months of the year. Our ancestors prepared for this time by harvesting and storing food. When the sun started to withdraw from the surface, making a rare appearance, this also showed that now they didn't collect herbs anymore outside and left them for the spirits. Our ancestors lived in harmony with the perpetual flourishing and retreat of nature. They were a part of it. The annual festivals symbolize a cycle, and in this cycle Samhain is the time of death. But in order to create something new, something old must go. On Samhain, the veil to the other world opens, and it can serve as a time of connection with that other side of the veil. So around that time, we are invited to honor our ancestors, sharpen our intuition, do divination rituals, and, just like the inhabitants of nature, retreat to our cozy homes and use this time to reflect on us and the past year. I started the day by choosing jewelry that I received from those who passed on that were dear to me. And I could not help but think about the stories that these pieces wanted to tell. So I took some time to listen. I thought about the times when my ancestors wore the jewelry and how it made them feel. For my outfit, I chose my favorite skirt and blouse that I recently thrifted. I wanted to wear things that had a story to tell as well, to really get into the energy of the upcoming festival. After that, I started the preparation for the upcoming Samhain by cleansing and clearing my new altar. I found this beautiful antique bureau while thrifting, and I love it so much. I used lukewarm water with some enchanted essential oils to really cleanse the space, and after that I got rid of stuck energies with Palo Santo. I then decided what I wanted to display on my new altar. I used some acorns I found the other day, and I was excited to see what presents the woods would give me that day to decorate my altar for upcoming Samhain. In preparation for Samhain, you can also use photos, heirlooms, and other things that remind you of your ancestors. I also decided to use a offering bowl where later on I would give the spirits and my ancestors a little offering. I found a black and white candle, a little pumpkin, and my stick that reminds me of a unicorn skull that I dearly treasure. And just by setting up my Samhain altar, I could already feel how the magic of that time started to unfold. On October 23rd, we enter the zodiac sign of Scorpio. This zodiac sign, like no other, represents transformation and forgiveness. A radical emotional process of change is beginning not only in nature, but also in ourselves. So Samhain is the perfect time to do a ritual to let go of energies that no longer serve you. Because the phoenix also arises from the ashes, right? Just like the trees are letting go of their old rope, you too can let go of any old and unwanted energy and make space so something new can show up in your life. For this ritual, I wrote down everything that no longer served me. Habits, situations, thoughts. But I also wrote that it should be in the most loving way and in a way that is in the highest and best good for everyone that is involved, including myself. Remember, your words have power, and as witches, we choose them carefully. I burned the paper in a fireproof bowl, and it was so satisfying to see the old energy transforming into smoke. Because energy can never vanish, it simply changes its form. I then went on and blew the ashes into the air so that the wind could take the energy that I just let go of and carry it away. This time of the year is also perfect to do a divination ritual. An old and traditional and fun way to do that is to use apples. Yes, apples. But you can also use candle wax or little branches or even nuts. Use whatever you feel like will deliver the message that is meant for you the best. I simply peeled an apple, and then comes the fun part. I threw the apple peel and gazed upon what message unfolded within the apple peel. I wrote down in my journal what I thought wanted to present itself to me and spent some time reflecting on that. So to me, the picture that the apple peel was showing me looked like a bird without wings and a bird that wasn't flying. So it was really interesting to see that message, and let me know what you see in the comments down below. And when I became clear of what I saw in the picture that was shown to me, I then went on to ask my oracle cards for their message as well. And I was amazed to see how beautiful the messages aligned. And I really couldn't believe it when I realized while editing that I found this exact same flower later that day. And originally I didn't want to use that clip, and now I know why. This flower wanted to make its presence right here. So I'm definitely going to research the meaning of that beautiful tree in the upcoming days. In summer, the sun bathes the whole world in its warm golden light, while in the colder months of the year, the sun decides to shorten its presence. And just like the days get shorter and darker, we are also invited more than ever to look into ourselves to find our answers, rather than finding them in the outside. So I decided to make an intuitive painting. I have been loving that the past few months to just let come to paper whatever wants to show up. It can also be a gentle way to show your shadow aspects, if you set the intention before painting so you can integrate them. And just the other day I did a meditation to meet my inner witch. And when I saw her, she told me, "I am your shadow. Accept me, work with me, don't be afraid of our power." The shadow aspects of yourself are nothing to be afraid of, because these aspects of yourself are pure untapped potential. But mostly it is these parts of us that we try to hide that will change everything once we let our light shine onto them. I don't expect any outcome when I do these intuitive paintings, and I just feel into what colors resonate with me for that specific painting. I feel into shapes and forms that want to show up without any judgment, and I trust that whatever shows up has a message for me. And after that, I let the picture speak. Are there any shapes or forms that remind me of something? Is there a specific color that showed up the most? I do a journaling about that picture to really soak in the message that I was guided to receive. This year, for the first time, I felt the need to do ancestor work. It took me a long time to release my grief. And this year I decided to venture to my favorite ancient places. I love castles and old ruins so much. I love the quietness there and how these places turned into silent witnesses of time. I always get this nostalgic feeling, and I wonder who lived here and how life looked like. I wonder which footprints I am walking in right now. Castles and ruins make me feel calm and peaceful. And I just love researching about the place where I live, read about traditions and its myths, and experience them. Connecting with the history of where I live gives me a sense of understanding and connecting, especially after trying to run away for so long. And you too may be surprised what the legends in your country have to tell you. And now is the perfect time to connect with them. On my last shamanic retreat, I found this beautiful birch tree branch on the floor of the woods and decided to bring it with me because it had a profound meaning. I wanted to turn it into something special, and I knew that this would be the perfect project for it. A physical family tree. And on my last autumnal forest walk, I found these cute little acorn heads, and I thought that they would be the cutest little picture frames the world and the fairies had ever seen. And these are really so simple to make, and all you need are these acorn heads, feathers, crystals, leaves, and ribbons. And I made a loop with a piece of ribbon, and then I glued it onto the acorn head with my trustful hot glue gun. And now you can simply decorate them however you like. I used all the feathers I found during the past few months because I knew that they were signs of my guides and my ancestors. I also used rose petals and moss, oak leaves and crystals to make these beautiful little picture frames that later on would decorate the birch tree. After that, I cut out the pictures of my ancestors that I wanted to glue into my natural picture frames. I used hot glue gun again so I could change the pictures easily, but you can use whatever you prefer. And just a few moments later, my family tree was ready. I also used ribbons and feathers to really dedicate that place to my ancestors, and I was more than happy with it. So seekers of magic, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making it because it really pushed me to go deeper into my studies about ancient traditions, my ancestors, and it also made me reflect upon my relationship to the circle of nature. I used to get really depressed in the darker months of the year, but after connecting to the nature so much more, I know that we too are a part of nature and that it is okay to slow down. We can use this time to reflect and slow down, just like nature, our biggest teacher in life, is showing us.